Time to read out aloud now behind-the-scenes information relating to classic Doctor Who serial, The Highlanders. We'll get to my general thoughts in this serial, the reconstructions of it, toward the part 4 of this retrospective of The Highlanders. Highlanders was the last of the pure historical genre of Doctor Who television stories, which had been a regular feature of the show since its inception, until A Black Orchid in 1982. It is also the first appearance of Fraser Hines as Jamie McCrimmon, who would become the second Doctor's longest-serving companion. All 4 episodes are currently missing from the BBC archives. This story had the working title of Culloden. No episodes of this 4-part story exist in the BBC archives. The next pure historical serial, Black Orchid, would not be broadcast until 1982. However, The Highlanders is the last historical to use events from real history, as Orchid is entirely fictional. Episode 1 of this story is the first that cannot be watched moving in any form, either surviving or animated, since the Smugglers episode 4 only being available as a Telesnap Recon or audio-only soundtrack with narration. That is to say, legally, although low-quality bootleg animations are known to exist. Although commissioned to write the story, Elwyn Jones in fact carried out no work on it. The scripts were written by story editor Gerry Davis. Unlike other cases in which the story/script editor substantively wrote or rewrote scripts, however, Davis actually did get on-screen credit for it. As evidenced by contemporaneous documents available on the BBC's official website, Jones and Davis were in fact jointly credited. While still an actor in the early 1960s, this serial's director, Hugh David, had been considered for the role of the First Doctor, but being only 38 years old at the time, was deemed to be too young by the series' original producer, Verity Lambert. Jamie was originally never meant to become a companion. Fraser Hines has remarked on several DVD commentaries that he had already filmed the scene in which Jamie watches the TARDIS depart, and it was only when production on the story was nearly complete that Innes Lloyd asked him if he would like to become a full-time companion. As a result, the production team had to return to location in order to reshoot the final scene. This is the only Doctor Who story written by Gerry Davis not to feature the Cybermen. Solicitor Grey is the only real-world historical person to appear in the story. Stuntman Peter Diamond accidentally nicked Fraser Hines' eyebrow with a sword while filming. Scottish actor Duncan McRae was originally cast as Willie Mackay, but was replaced by Russell Hunter after falling ill during a pantomime in Scotland. Hunter was ultimately replaced by Andrew Downey. The Laird of McCrimmon, an unmade Season 6 serial, would have featured Jamie's departure. Fraser Hines named this as his favourite story because it led to him being in Doctor Who. This story was originally going to have its complete television soundtrack released as an extra on the 2020 special edition release of The Power of the Daleks, but it was ultimately excluded. It is still listed on Amazon as being part of the release. Patrick Troughton's ad-libbed the uses of "I would like a hat like that," which is intended to be his Doctor's catchphrase. Yes, next time we'll be talking about, some of the actual historical information, the context of what's going on during this particular storyline, The Highlanders. The Jacobite Rising of 1745, part of the wider War of the Austrian Succession. Interesting stuff. Well, I think so anyway. Tune in next time for that if you're so inclined. Thanks again, my friends.